Tyron Smith's official retirement ceremony took place earlier today. Congratulations to Tyron Smith, who will likely be recognized in the Hall of Fame and honored in the Cowboys Ring of Honor. One of the team's executives even mentioned that, like Zach Martin, Smith will be inducted into the ring. Now, let's shift our focus to the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys, specifically the possibility of trade. There's speculation about a potential trade down in the first round of this year's draft. A recent radio segment pointed out that due to the current roster makeup, moving up in the draft seems unlikely. However, a trade down scenario is very plausible. This is especially true for the first round, where the difference between picks, say, number 38 and number 8, isn't as clear-cut. This isn't surprising. Most experts tend to support a trade down, and the sense around the league is that many teams are leaning in that direction, looking to gain additional assets and more chances to land impact players in a deep draft class. Few teams are interested in trading up. The top-tier prospects include Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter, and you could argue Ashton Gentry and Mason Graham also stand out. Between picks 5 and 15, or even up to 20, the talent gap isn't that wide, making a trade-up less logical. A player drafted at number 8 might not be that different from someone taken at number 18, depending on positional needs. So, while a trade-up is unlikely, a trade-down would make sense, even though interest in moving up appears low overall. The Cowboys might be interested in trading down, but it's unclear which team would be willing to move up to pick number 12. Maybe a defensive player highly coveted by another team could trigger such a move. A run on quarterbacks would certainly help, pushing more talented players down the board. The prediction for round 1 is that the team will remain calm and stick to their spot. Things are expected to shift on day 2 and especially on day 3, and we'll break that down soon. For now, I want to hear your draft predictions. Will the Cowboys trade up, trade down, or stay put and pick? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Drop your thoughts in today's discussion section. Expectations are high for what the team will do on day 3. The Cowboys currently hold 7 picks on that day, including 2 fifth-rounders, 2 sixths, and 3 sevenths. It's uncertain whether all those picks will be used as is. The goal may be to secure a 4th-round selection, which could be challenging without a willing trade partner. They might also consider trading a pick for a veteran player, as they've done in the past. It's an appealing idea, given the need to add a running back, a cornerback, a wide receiver, and a defensive tackle. With 3 of those picks falling beyond number 145, it's unlikely all those needs can be addressed without moving down. There'd be no harm in using 1 to 6th-round picks to secure a future 5th or 6th-rounder in next year's draft. Currently, the team has several slots open for undrafted free agents. There are about 10 spots total, with only 4 or 5 left to fill, lower than the usual number. That suggests the roster isn't fully settled. Moves could still be coming, perhaps a release, a trade involving a player for future draft capital. Though the changes may not be dramatic, the roster clearly isn't finalized. One name worth highlighting as a potential surprise pick is Jay Barron. He's expressed interest in joining the team, according to a source familiar with the situation. A scouting service recently spotlighted the Texas cornerback as an under-the-radar selection in this draft. While cornerback isn't an immediate need, the team did lose a key player in free agency and lacks a clear replacement. Barron logged over 900 snaps at the position and was rated the top zone coverage cornerback in a specific season, making him a strong fit for the current defensive scheme. If Barron were the pick at number 12, it would certainly be intriguing. How would you grade that selection from A to F? Personally, I view Barron as a first-round player, and I rarely assign grades in that tier. Whether he's the 1st or 4th best player left on the board, if he's available when the Cowboys are on the clock, he fits both the best player available mindset and fills a critical need. The only drawback? His arm length falls below the usual threshold the team targets at cornerback. They've never drafted someone at that position with such short arms. Still, it's worth noting that Barron is enthusiastic about joining the Cowboys. A source said he genuinely wants the opportunity and believes he'd be a great addition. I agree. Barron is a versatile defender who can play safety, outside corner, or nickel. He's exactly the kind of player who could make a real difference on this defense. He's also solid in run support, something the team needs badly after losing a key contributor. The boundary cornerback spot could double as a nickel role. He's precisely the kind of secondary piece the team needs. His tackling and run support skills make him even more valuable. This would require a different approach than what the team typically takes with that position. In a few days, there'll be a live event that introduces something a bit new, a 3-round mock draft simulation with several hosts participating. Each team's picks will be made by a different presenter, including one specifically representing the Cowboys. The goal is to offer a more realistic look at how the draft might play out. It's definitely something to watch. Back to a more frustrating topic. Some concerning comments have surfaced about ongoing contract negotiations. The team seems to be emphasizing the benefits of playing in their city and enjoying a lower cost of living, in an attempt to justify offering less money. While it's true that Dallas isn't the most expensive market in the league, that doesn't mean players should accept lower salaries. The idea that players should take discounts just because of location doesn't make sense. The organization has often clung to this mindset, believing they're special and therefore don't need to pay top dollar. They've said this publicly many times. But the market doesn't work that way anymore. There's a clear expectation that other teams won't need to offer as much, simply because of geography. But that's outdated thinking. In today's NFL, players aren't interested in discounts, and the team's recent history of failed negotiations proves they need to adapt. It's not just that Dallas is cheaper than major cities. It's not even the cheapest option out there. Believing that this allows them to underpay is a major miscalculation. What's more, there are suggestions that the team's approach might be intentionally frustrating to the fan base. A recent comment claimed the Cowboys' strategy is simply to spend up to the salary cap each year to bring in as many quality players as possible. But that logic is flawed. It sounds more like an excuse than a plan, akin to calling something art when it clearly isn't. Think of someone splashing paint on a canvas or taping a banana to a wall and calling it art. What's the message there? The so-called art of the deal doesn't work for the Cowboys. For context, Dallas currently has $37 million in cap space. Not all of that will be used this year. It's simply not feasible. But that doesn't mean they're spending to the cap. Spending up to your financial limits is a completely different discussion. The Cowboys are neither among the league's biggest spenders nor the lowest, typically falling somewhere in the middle, depending on their quarterback salary. If they've chosen to impose a self-restricted cap, that changes everything. It signals an unwillingness to spend like other teams, which puts them at a competitive disadvantage. Someone needs to stop bringing up the cap, because every time it's mentioned, something absurd follows. It's hard to tell whether my frustration stems more from misinformation about how the Cowboys manage their finances or from the persistent nature of the issue. Either way, I'll keep pushing back. I won't be misled by faulty logic. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The Dallas Cowboys may be preparing to make the kind of bold move that echoes through NFL history. League sources have revealed an intensifying interest from the Cowboys front office in veteran quarterback Russell Wilson, a potential shift that would rock the league and send a clear message. Jerry Jones is done waiting. While Dak Prescott remains under center for now, whispers from inside the star suggest that Wilson's availability and recent resurgence in Pittsburgh have ignited real conversations within Dallas War Room. The question isn't just whether Wilson fits, but whether the Cowboys believe he's the missing piece to end their decades-long Super Bowl drought. Wilson's 2024 campaign with the Steelers proved he still has plenty left in the tank. After an underwhelming and often turbulent stint in Denver, the veteran quarterback silenced critics with sharp performances, leadership, and clutch victories in Pittsburgh. Despite a late-season stumble, his 2,482 yards, 16 touchdowns, and impressive command of the offense reignited league-wide belief in the former Super Bowl champion. And while Pittsburgh offered stability, Dallas offers something different: legacy, spotlight, and a ready-made roster with championship potential. It's a tantalizing proposition for a player like Wilson, who thrives under pressure and has never shied away from the big stage. From the Cowboys' perspective, the move would be as much about message as mechanics. Wilson's arrival could serve as a cultural jolt for a franchise that has been stuck in the postseason purgatory, talented but never quite good enough. Prescott's tenure has been steady, even admirable at times, but the postseason results have underwhelmed. Wilson brings not just experience, but a resume few active quarterbacks can match: a Super Bowl title, 9 Pro Bowl selections, and an enduring reputation as one of the game's most dynamic leaders. If Dallas truly wants to break the cycle, a player like Wilson could be the high-risk, high-reward answer. Financially, the move is feasible, if not complex. Wilson is on a veteran minimum deal with the Steelers, which means Dallas wouldn't need to mortgage their future in a trade, but they would need to maneuver around Dak's existing contract. That could mean an off-season blockbuster trade or a controversial quarterback competition come training camp. It's a delicate balance, and one that Jones has never shied away from managing publicly. Cowboys insiders have hinted that Jones is intrigued by the idea of Wilson in silver and blue, captivated by his star power and playoff pedigree. The buzz is real, and sources say exploratory conversations have already begun. For now, it's all speculation. But in a league where headlines often foreshadow history, the idea of Russell Wilson wearing a Cowboys uniform doesn't feel like fiction. It feels like something brewing. If Jones makes the call, and if Wilson answers, it could mark a seismic shift in the NFC landscape. And as the Cowboys enter yet another pivotal offseason, one thing is clear. The possibility of Wilson in Dallas is no longer just a dream whispered by fans. It's a real scenario being weighed behind closed doors, with championship ambitions at its core. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.